Hello, how's everyone doing? So, I wanted to do a quick stream here, just talking about some of my thoughts on some of the new news at Celebration. Um, it's really among some of the different not trailers, like the new announcements in regards to the two films that they've announced. Well, one I guess has already been announced, but more info's come out on that. The other film that they announced, the new film, and the new animated show they're going to do. So I'm actually going to, and I'm going to be try to be non-biased here. Um, but so let's get into the first one. Star Wars Starfighter. More details. Um, Ryan Gosling is joining the Star Wars Galaxy new film directed by Sean Levy. Oh Lord, that's a Ryan Gosling and Star Wars. We are at that state now. Um, Levy, or is it Sean Levy? Sean Levy, I don't know how to say his name. Who recently directed and produced Marvel's hit Deadpool Wolverine, made a surprise appearance during the Mandalorian and Grogu panel today, I guess it was today. Joining Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy and Chief Creative Officer Dave Filoni on stage to confirm his project for the live audience at Star Wars Celebration. One of several theatrical projects in development from Lucasfilm, including films by Sharman Obed Chinoy, James Mangold, Taki Waititi, and a new trilogy by Simon Kinberg. Levy's film, Star Wars Starfighter, will star Gosling into production starting this fall. So it'll probably come out, yeah, it'll come out a couple of years from now. Set approximately 5 years after the event of the Rise of Skywalker, Gosling will play a brand new character teased by the actor's appearance on stage. So basically, X-Wing, it sounds like, just for the new canon in that era. So anyway, that seems interesting, I guess. Mandalorian Grogu. I don't really have anything to say else about this. I mean, we don't have any other details other than it's after the films or after The Rise of Skywalker. So Mandalorian Grogu. Um, reach out here. What's up, Nazo? Iron. How's it going? Give me just 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that, guys. I'm back. Anyway, Mandalorian Grogu. Now, by the way, the leaked trailers that have come out, I've already seen. I'm not going to show them because I'm not going to get banned, but I will talk about what I saw. Um. Anyway, let's go ahead and read this. This is the way to kick off Star Wars Celebration Japan. The first panel, the first day of celebration, is always a mix of thrills and chills, and this year's show in Tokyo, Japan was no exception. The panel opened with a look back at everything Star Wars. I'm not reading all that junk. How the surprise reveal of Star Wars Starfighter. Favreau took the stage to give fans first details about hotly anticipated Mandalorian Grogu. Coming in theaters in May 22nd, 2016. 2016, 2026, not 2016. Gosh, I wish it was 2016 because I'm getting older. But The Mandalorian Grogu brings back our favorite duo with familiar faces like Zeb Orrelios and a brand new character in the galaxy far, far away, played by the legendary Sigourney Weaver. Sigourney, I don't know how you say her name. She played in the Avatar movies and a bunch of other movies. I know her from Avatar though. Weaver and the Mandalorian himself, Pedro Pascal, joined the panel to ruckus cheers from the energized audience. Weaver admitted that she hadn't seen Disney Plus series when she first approached the role, but it didn't take her long to become a fan. When I watched Mandalorian, I fell in love with all the characters, especially this guy. Audiences took a all I want to really talk about is the damn trailer that they did reveal. It was an AT-AT. It was like a hallway scene on an AT-AT with Mando. Now the end of the trailer is kind of what I want to talk about because I think the rumors were like a couple of months ago. They were rumoring that the film was just going to be like a retelling of the Clone Wars movie, with Ambo in it, and Rhoda the Hutt was going to be in it. Yeah, I mean, funnily enough, there was a Hutt in it. It was at the very end of it was a muscular Hutt at the end of the episode. It looked like a gladiator Hutt. It looked like he was in like a gladiator ring or something. And here's how I feel. Rhoda the Hutt should have been used in the Book of Boba Fett. That story should have been Rhoda as the son of Jabba the Hutt trying to take the throne back from Boba Fett as the rightful ruler. That would have been perfect. It would have made more sense. Now, if it is the same story as the Clone Wars film, I mean, they're digging themselves a hole at that point because we all know how the Clone Wars film went. And you know what? That film came out almost 20 years ago. They should know that too. Because they're morons. Dave Filoni created that character and then forgot about him. Completely forgot about him. So that's when Rhoda the Hutt should have been in that damn show. I mean, they had the right idea with the twins, the twin Hutts. A Hutt should have been the main villain of that show. I'm sorry, not the Pikes, not Cad Bane, but a Hutt. More specifically, Rhoda the Hutt, because it would have made more sense. Yep, there's Davy Boy for you. The trailer, some of it looked kind of cool. The AT-ATs were cool. Snowtroopers were in it. Zeb was in it. I mean, it's cool, I guess, but I mean, it didn't blow me away. But yeah. So let's move on to what I really want to talk about. Is this damn show. Star Wars Maul, Shadow Lord. It is an animated series starring what's his name? Sam Witwer. And it takes place about a year. I'm not reading this article, but it takes place about a year after the Clone Wars ended. So Clone Wars season 7 ended. And basically it's Maul starting his criminal empire. It's meant to sort of tie some of those loose ends up between Rebels and TCW, which is fine because there's a little bit there. Now, they did show a leaked trailer. There was a leaked trailer, and if you want to find these trailers, look them up online. They're everywhere. But because Disney, they like to release trailers exclusively for people at Celebration, which I think is ridiculous, by the way. And clearly doesn't do anything because people are just going to record and post it online anyway. So they might as well show the trailer. Here is the problem. Here's my problem. Well, it's a potential problem. It's not inherently a problem, but it's a potential problem. In the trailer, there is Maul is getting a new apprentice. This apprentice is a young red Twi'lek girl. Now, if that sounds familiar, you're right, because apparently in George's original concepts, Maul and Talon, Darth Talon from the Legacy comics. Darth Talon is apparently alive in the original trilogy, or at least in that era. And she's Maul's apprentice. In the trailer, we don't know if it's Talon, but I think what we do know for sure, I mean, this is kind of like an obvious, but it's very much inspired by those concepts. Now, if it is Talon, I'm going to be kind of upset because it's another example of Disney Star Wars just ripping and picking and just bastardizing the expanding universe. But it could just be a Red Twilight meant to be sort of a, I guess, homage to Talon and what George wanted. Um, who knows? We'll see. Um, now the trailer, I mean, I watched the leaked trailer. I mean, it looked fine. I mean, none of those trailers, like I mean, I'm at this point of Disney canon where like I don't care anymore. Well, clearly I don't care a little bit still, but it's just I think the idea of a mall show set in this era would be interesting. But if they do make it Darth Talon, I mean, I'm not gonna be mad. I'm just gonna be like disappointed. But I mean, who knows? We'll see. So that's kind of the new news for today. I don't really know how long Celebration's gonna be for. Um I guess this would probably more so tie into Solo than it would the Rebels. I think that's probably how really what we need is well, I guess the comics at this point have talked about it, like the Crimson Reign storyline that they've been doing. It's kind of tied up what happened after Solo with the Shadow Collective, which I thought was interesting. But I don't know. We'll see here. I'm sure this is gonna be like the rise of the Shadow Collective within this era. So yeah, that's sort of the new news. I don't really know what else is. Was there anything else announced? Or I think it's just that so far. So yeah, that's what they've got going on. Of course, Andor season 2 is coming out, I think Tuesday that airs. I will be watching that, by the way. Trying to see what else, if there's anything else here that's new. This isn't new, but I like to look at this. I think this is ridiculous. Republic is founded among the world's like galactic core. The Jedi Order emerges to protect it. Anyway, well, that's all I've got. Um, now some to hear y'all's thoughts. Oh, really? Well, it's in Japan, so I mean their time obviously their time zone is way different than mine, so but yeah, I don't really know what to say. I don't really care that much anymore. I just think like I don't know. I don't know. And I don't think I mean Ryan Gosling me in Star Wars, and I don't really know how to feel about that. I really don't know how to feel about that at all. I don't know what that. I mean, that Starfighter. I imagine Poe is going to be in it. I imagine it's going to be about, dealing with a First Order warlord. I imagine it's going to be like, a new group, a new Rogue Squadron or a new Black Squadron or whatever. I think his squadron is Black Squadron. I think, um, something like that. That's what it's going to be. So. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna be wrong. Or maybe like a Sith Eternal Warlord or something. I don't know, something stupid like that. Something just like the EU did. Well, it's not. Those aren't stupid ideas, but they're done like 30 years ago, so they're nothing new. But the Mandalorian Grogu show or movie, I don't think it should have. I don't think they should be a movie. I don't think they're film worthy. I also don't like it. I don't think it should be a film because I mean, you've already had basically 4 seasons, the first 3 seasons of Mando, and then Boba Fett season 4 or season 1, which is basically Mando season 4, um, or season 2.5, I guess. I just don't know. I don't. It's gonna have to be one of those things where you had to have seen the shows to actually be able to enjoy that movie. But Star Wars mental health panel. Well, the only way to fix your mental health with Star Wars is by reading the expanded universe. Because if they're gonna do Disney Star Wars on that panel, their mental health's gonna get worse. So maybe they'll announce new EU there. That'll definitely cure our mental health, right? um, and then the Shadow. I keep wanting to say Maul Shadow Hunter because the damn book, but it's Shadow Lord. Um, I'm kind of, you know, worried about, but anyway, those are my thoughts about the news. Well, it says, I guess Empire is saying that it is Darth Talon, or unless it's just commentary. Hmm. Oh, it's over. It's over. But let me look into this Darth Talon thing because I don't. Was that confirmed to be her? Let me see here. Mhm. It's just speculation. Okay. Look, I don't mind. I just want to make it clear. I don't mind if Maul has a red Twi'lek as his apprentice. I don't. I don't mind all of it. I think it's the visual of that is kind of cool. My problem is if it's actually talent. But I mean, it literally will have. She will have no similarities at all to talent other than her appearance and her name. Other than that, she's not gonna have any similarities because she's in a completely separate era. Like it's not like it's like a Dirge thing where it went from Clone Wars to Imperial. Those are back to back. This is completely separate. She's going from the Legacy era to the original trilogy era. I mean that's like taking someone from the Old Republic and then putting them into like the Clone Wars. I mean, it just doesn't work. And it's like, oh my gosh, just don't. I don't see Dave actually doing that. Like, surely he's not that terrible. He would not do that. Surely he wouldn't. Like, damn. The only somewhat interesting thing at that convention I'm looking forward to is Vision she's doing this tomorrow. Yeah. Also, I just again, my Nameless was the one who sent me. He sent me the what was it the Mando trailer. So shout out to Nameless. But yeah. Oh, I don't. If you want my opinion on Visions, don't care. If they confirmed it was part of the expanding universe, I'd care, but otherwise, not really. I haven't s I never finished the first season, I haven't even watched any of the second, so I already found it, Nameless, I appreciate it, I already saw it online. I found it, because I guess it's still up on YouTube, but yeah, I saw it. Appreciate it, though. But yeah, so I'm kinda you know me, I'll only give that I'm not as, probably excited as everybody else is, but I know, but it's just not for me, and I think what kinda turned me off of Visions for that second season was, like, the whole premise of Visions was just the first anime Star Wars show, and then the second season, it's no longer an anime. There are anime episodes, but a lot of it is also made by now, they're all made by foreign or non-American, production companies, which is I don't have anything wrong with that, but I didn't think it was appropriate to put it in a show that's meant for anime, that's meant for Japanese animation. So, I mean, that's just my opinion. That doesn't mean any of what was actually in the show is bad. I mean, I that's just my opinion. I didn't think I didn't think they should have been put in that show. They should have now if they wanted to do like a separate show for like non-anime, non-American, shorts, I mean, fair enough. Go ahead. I don't know. Maybe I know that's such a ridiculous complaint. Doesn't really matter, but that's just how I felt about it. I just didn't think it was really that appropriate. Might have to give the Outlaws Lance so you can give that a try. Visuals are good. Nah, don't waste your money because I ain't gonna play it. If I'm honest. I and see that's the thing. Like Outlaws is one of the biggest missed opportunities just ever because the way I wanted it, the way I wanted an open world game was sort of like how GTA does it, where you can, there's a story mode where you can, three different characters, and then there's the online mode where you can make your own car basically, you can make your own character, you can go for practically anywhere you want on the map. You can join crime, organizations, you can do all that kind of stuff. Go up against players and whatever. That's what I wanted, except obviously in this case, it would have been you create your own Star Wars character, you get your own ship, you get to design and build your own ship. You get to now, I'm not saying they should have been a Jedi. I don't think that would work with that kind of game, but you can be a bounty hunter, be a scoundrel, pirate. You can join groups with players and fight against players and go to a certain amount of planets. And the planet should have been planets we know or are familiar with, maybe with an addition of some extra ones, so like some new ones. Like there should have been a Coruscant in it, or I know Tatooine's in that game, but Tatooine, or planets we know of. Now Hutta, Nar Shaddaa, your crime planets, throw those in there too. So that is my ideal open world Star Wars game. This is half of that. There is, you know, there's a story mode, but I was wanting it to be that plus an online version, maybe with the same map, but an online version. You can do missions, quests, join groups with players, just like GTA is. And honestly, now that Star Wars is having a whole bunch of people doing, different game developers doing different games, it's not just EA anymore. I mean, they should have had Rockstar do something like that. Not what was it, Ubisoft? Is that what did that? That's just my opinion. That's how I felt about it. Same views, Infinities, yeah. Disney canon is basically just a place for me to dump fan fiction in. I care about the integrity of the pre-Disney canon, so most of the fanfics ideas I have are put into Star Wars, since it's not really canon. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. Nameless, about my opinion on Outlaws. Yeah, that's true. It's like Disney has a really bad habit of like teaming up with like companies that have a horrible reputation, like EA, Ubisoft. I mean, like, why can't they go with companies that have like great records and great reputation among gamers, like Rockstar, you know? I get it's Rockstar, and but I mean, they should have really only teamed up with Rockstar to do an open world game because they're the masters of it at this point. Um, but yeah, I mean, Survivor was a hell of a lot more interesting than Outlaws. Problem with Survivor is, well, the problem with any of those big open, those big story games is you spend like almost $100 on the game, and then you only spend like 6 hours playing it. So that's why I don't like those games. Um, because they just don't, they're never worth the money. And it's not like Survivor's just this, or Fallen Order, this great story. They're really not. But especially Fallen Order. But well, even Survivor, they're not bad. But I mean, they're not worth $60. When you think about it, Fallen Order is just a Rebels ripoff. It's just like Rebels, it's the same premise. The new Star Wars Tactics game kind of looks cheap. I have no faith in that. It looks like a mobile game. You know what? That's the perfect way to put it. And I'm glad they're doing a strategy game because I'm a big Empire of War fan, but it's not going to be Empire of War at all. And I think that's kind of the problem is it's not to that scale. But poor XCOM ripoff. But yeah, and I mean I've done Empire of War videos and whatnot before, but I think that Empire of War is, I mean, it's obviously the best strategy game Star Wars ever done. I mean, it's so good. It holds up today, and it's still it's obviously heavily modded. The modding community on that game is ginormous. So it's never gonna top Empire of War. So, and that's another problem. Like it's only in the Clone Wars. I think that's one of the problems with Star Wars games now is it's only in one era. Like when you're doing a strategy game or you're doing like like in like a Star Wars Squadrons context, like a fighter game, space fighter, starfighter game. They need to be multiple eras. There needs to be variety there. I mean, or otherwise, it's just not fun. Huh. I don't think Titus is gonna play it. He wasn't even impressed with it. And he's the one who introduced me to Empire War. He has like double the amount of hours in that game than I have. Yep. Speak of the damn devil. The fiend Titus is here. The safe space threat is here. Um, but anyway. Also, last night I did a stream with Brennan and Chris Nelson and Scott and Brady and Alex was on there briefly and Titus on Brennan's channel. This is the latest live stream. So, and we almost streamed for like 3 hours. I think we went 2.5 hours. It was a lot of fun. So give that a watch if, whenever you got some time. That was a lot of fun. That felt very, like 2021, 2022 Star Wars, Star Wars EU days. Back when we were all united and we didn't like, piss all over each other's graves whenever we had a disagreement like we are doing now, or whenever we're hanging out with people we don't like, things like that. Back in the day when we were easily able to, have like 6 or 7 people on a live stream. I'm neutral on Zero Company. I'm not a fan of XCOM. Maybe it could be decent or be sneaky shit. It's probably going to be shite, and you know it, Titus. The Avengers reassembled for that. Yeah, we did. But that was a lot of fun. I'll say that was a fun stream. I didn't talk a lot in it though, but it was still fun. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. We're like, what are we doing? We're getting distracted on Titus. Titus joining. Titus being a fiend in chat. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Thank y'all very much for joining. Wait a minute. Let's see what Nazla says. It's weird some folks just want to saying Celsius, but it's from Nikon. Yeah, that's what happens when you fail at making a convention. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a video. I mean, I might not do one. I don't know about all this drama. Not to call anybody out, but to give my thoughts on it. I mean, what I can say is, or I guess what I would like to say. I guess I can say anything I fucking want on my own channel, even though some people don't like that. But um, I'm becoming somewhat disillusioned with the fandom. Um, Earlier I was really considering just not streaming anymore. Clearly that didn't go through, but it's just stupid. I mean, you just like no one. People are so focused on like shit that doesn't matter. Like, oh my gosh, you hang out with someone I don't like, or you said something I don't like, or I mean, it's just pettiness. You voted for someone I don't like. That really pisses me off. Because I would never ever judge anybody for who they voted for. Because let's face it, the election had some pretty unpopular candidates, and we've had that problem since 2016. So if you're really going to judge someone on who they voted for, I mean, look in the mirror because you've also voted for someone that is not much better. And I don't care who it is. But anyway, a lot of it was the election. Um, People just shaming others for who they voted for on both sides. Um, it's insanity. We can't just sit here and enjoy Star Wars because you know what? Everything, whether you are EU movement, whether you're not EU movement, you're part of the SE group or you're not, whatever it is, we all love the expanded universe. And people don't seem to remember that. I'm guilty of that. I can tell you firsthand I'm guilty of that. But I'm at a point where I'm just tired of it. So, you know, That doesn't mean I'm not going to poke fun at some certain people. And if you see my community posts, you know that's what I've been doing. But you know, it is what it is. So and as long as we are fighting, as long as we cannot get along, the EU will never be continued. It will never be continued because if we can't even sit here and get our crap together, why would Disney get their crap together for us, for our sake? They're not. They don't care. They don't care to begin with, whether we have our crap together or not, because of the people in charge up there. But yeah, I don't think that we're ever going to get the EU continued if we're going to keep sitting here bickering and arguing about stupid shit that doesn't matter. So, and there's some certain groups of people who have realized that a long time ago, and they were right. So I'm just tired of it, and I'm just tired of it. It's bullshit, and no one is innocent. Everyone has, including myself, has contributed to it. So, but it's just stupid. It's just fucking stupid, and it doesn't matter. So none of it matters. And I guess that's all I gotta say about that. I'm sorry for that rant, but that's how I feel. Disagree with it, agree with it, doesn't matter. That's how I feel. So I'm just here to talk about Star Wars. That's all I want to do. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest here and say that being in the EU fandom just it's not fun anymore. It's all this bickering, all this bullshit. It's not fun. You know, it's not fun anymore. And I really want people to think about that when I say that. It's not fun. It's and now I see why so many people have left, and I become disillusioned with it. If I didn't already see it already, I definitely see it now. Because why would anyone want to be around something like that or in that kind of mindset? Again, I'm not completely innocent. I have said and done things in the past that I regret. I tell you what, I handled a lot of different situations wrong. But there's also the other point. I was a teenager when I did that stuff. I'm not a teenager, or I was a teenager at that point. And many of the people who are causing this drama now, well, they're a hell of a lot older than I am, and they're causing the drama. And I think that I think that's hilarious, and it's incredibly ironic. So I feel like I get it somewhat of a pass. Not entirely. I don't believe I do, but it's a little bit more understanding than having 40 and 50-year-old men who spend 10 hours a day on Discord doing this, arguing over stupid shit. So, yep, I know what you're feeling now, Iron, or what you felt then, because that's how I feel now. So, it's ridiculous. But anyway, I don't really know if there's anything I can add to that discussion because I don't want to. I mean, I could just start throwing out names, but I'm not going to. I don't think, again, it's stupid shit. Like I said, I think that's what I'm gonna start calling the drama now and the petty fights people are having. I'm gonna start calling it stupid shit because that's exactly what it is. It's stupid shit. Doesn't matter. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and head off. Take care, Iron. The rest of you people lurking in the stream. Y'all take care. Thank y'all very much for watching. May the force be with you all.